Hey, what is going on, Atlanta Falcon fans? Man, y'all know it is your boy Antoine Smitty Smith stopping in right quick to give my quick thoughts on an article I read on Bleacher Report about Kyler Murray and his best landing spots if he's cut, released, or traded, or however you want to put it. But if he just leaves Arizona, period, they put out 5 teams that they think would be the perfect spot for him. And the crazy thing is, guess who's number one? Shout out to my boy A1 Forever, man. We had a conversation about this about 2 months ago, before the season even ended. And we talked about Kyler Murray. It just came up in random conversation. And we throw out hypotheticals. Let's keep it real. But Kyler Murray, veteran quarterback, been in the league since 2018, former first overall pick of the Cardinals. And Atlanta has some quarterback concerns going into this season. They're expected to release Kirk Cousins to try to save some cap space. But actually, I think they lose $10 million this year either way it goes because of that roster bonus. And now they will be starting over at the quarterback position, possibly because we don't know if Michael Penix is going to be ready when the season starts, even though he said he is. That's just yet to be seen. But let's see what Bleacher Report has to say. Now, we know Jeremy Fowler broke the news about a week or so ago about Kyler Murray wanted to play for a contender. And shout out to Adam Wills of Bleacher Report, and he actually tuned into this. And this is what Jeremy Fowler had to say about Kyler Murray. He said he's got the high guarantees of nearly $40 million, which is crazy. All of that triggers by mid-March, which is the new league year. So they have to come to a resolution here in the coming weeks, and they definitely have to do that if they want to get off that money. He wants to go to a winner, and that's not up to him. That's up to the team. Whatever the best plan that they get or the best assets, I think that's where he's going to land. And they said that's where he wants to go. So you figure maybe Minnesota could be an option for him. We'll see what happens. And if y'all remember Minnesota, they got rid of Sam Darnold, and guess what? He ended up being a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So now they may backtrack just a little bit to go and get a veteran to come in, because you see what Sam Darnold did a couple of years ago. Journeyman quarterback ended up with a 13-4 record, and even though they lost to the Giants in the first round, still a hell of a season. So could Kyler Murray go and recapture that? Who knows? But this is what they had to say about the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons hired 2-time Coach of the Year, Kevin Stefanski. He worked with several quarterbacks in Cleveland, navigating for the Deshaun Watson trade for Deshaun Watson and his injuries, and that's not true. I think that was all the Cleveland front office, because that Baker Mayfield third year, and he was his first year in Cleveland. First year he actually won Coach of the Year. Guess what? They traded for Deshaun Watson because they were going for popularity and flash instead of just sticking with what was working at the time. If they had to stay with Baker Mayfield, they get a cheaper version of that quarterback, and they can continue building that team around Baker Mayfield and Myles Garrett on defense. But they did not do that. But it says compared to the signal callers Kevin Stefanski had in Cleveland, Murray would be a significant upgrade. And let's keep it real. We can't put it all on Penix. Zach Robinson, terrible play calling, terrible situational play calling. No development. When you saw Kirk Cousins as opposed to Michael Penix under center, literally, it was just like night and day. It's like no one was, helping Michael Penix develop or come along. And now I'm talking Kirk Cousins as well, because as a veteran quarterback, you're supposed to make sure your teammate is up to par to where you are verbally, learning to read defense, and learning in the film room, and it just did not seem like it was there. Let's keep it real, y'all. But it says Atlanta also hired a new general manager, Ian Cunningham, president of football operation Matt Ryan, to lead the new regime. They were non-committal about Michael Penix's status as the team's starter, which isn't a surprise given his extensive history and inconsistencies last season. And like I said, that was mainly due to Zach Robinson and them not really having a quarterback coach that could help develop him. And, they end up getting rid of Ike Hilliard and all of that, just a lot of turmoil. And that ended up affecting the team in the long run. But it says in 2025, Penix threw for 1,982 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 60.1% completion percentage, rate before he suffered that ACL injury that required surgery. While Penix showed signs of promising spots, he didn't do enough to earn the franchise quarterback label, and I disagree with that. Again, it goes back to coaching. But it says the injury clouds his status for week 1 of next season. And as he's told y'all, man, he's aiming to be back by week 1. But again, as I keep telling y'all, OTAs, training camp, preseason, anything you can name, I don't think he'll be ready for it. And even if he's ready week 1, I'm telling y'all, the smart thing to do will put him on the PUP list or the injury reserve for the first 4 games until I know he has confidence to come back mentally and physically. That's just me. That's just me. But NFL Network, Mike Garofalo, shout out to Jeezy, man. I always welcome me on Good Morning Football weekend, answer my questions and things like that. Says they expect to release Kirk Cousins, but be cautious not to rule out his return to the team. And my boy A1 Forever talked about that long before anybody said anything about Kirk Cousins coming back, so shout out to him. But it said the Falcons can bring in a more proven player to start over Penix if they have concerns about his development and longevity. Someone younger than Kirk Cousins. And this is what I'm saying. And this is what I've been saying. If they get into a spot and he's not ready this year and they bring in a veteran quarterback and that quarterback is thriving in his offense and his team has a winning record, there will be no reason, absolutely no reason, to bring Michael Penix back this season. And who knows, if it's a Kyler Murray, he may be on a 1-year league minimum because remember, he's getting paid from the Cardinals. So he could be on a minimum contract, sort of like what Russell Wilson did, coming over from the Broncos to the Steelers, and they only pay him a little bit over $1 million. And he could be getting paid from the Cardinals as well. So in that case, if Kyler Murray is thriving and they see some potential there, I mean, Michael Penix possibly could not, even come back at the Falcons quarterback. I mean, I'm just saying, it could happen. But it said Murray missed 12 games last season. He may have been able to play late in the campaign if Arizona had named Jacoby Brissett his starter early in this recovery period from a foot injury. And you got to remember, Jacoby Brissett is 33 years old. He'll be a nice bridge quarterback. He has this year left on his contract. And he could be a bridge for them in the 2027 quarterback class. It's much, much better than what's coming out in 26. And we know Arch Manning is coming out. And guess what? If Arizona has another losing record this year, I can see Arch Manning in Arizona, or Arizona could trade that pick for more picks and possibly steal another young stud quarterback. But we'll have to see what happens when that happens. But to finish it off, it says in Atlanta, Murray will have had an experienced offensive-minded coach and established lead wide receiver in Drake London. And if Kyle Pitts is re-signed on a franchise tag, he could be another weapon. And you got to think also about that bull in the backfield and Bijan Robinson. So you add a Kyler Murray to those 3 weapons, I think the Falcons have a championship-style offense, especially with a much better offensive line than Arizona had to give Kyler Murray in Arizona. But, I mean, the Atlanta Falcons, man, I just think this is a smart move if they decide to go with Kyler Murray. And Bleacher Report may be on to something. As I told y'all, I could see Kyler Murray here anyway. And look, nothing against Michael Penix. But to win football games, you got to have availability. You got to put together a team, a strong team, in order to win football games. And the quarterback position is the number 1 position to help you win football games because they're the key to the engine. And if they doing what they're supposed to do, hey, it happens. But I pray Michael Penix comes back at some point this year. If he's ready for week 1, I'm fine with it. But if they go out and get a Kyler Murray, he comes in and does his thing. I mean, we have a win now team, playoff caliber roster. Let's just see what happens. But Kyler Murray to the Falcons. Tell me what y'all think. Drop those comments in the comment box. Let's debate. Let's have fun as always, man. Y'all know how we do it on the Sports Machine. This your boy Antoine Smitty Smith signing off. I will holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.